noticed? People are very accustomed and determined to complain about what's happening in their life, but they absolutely refuse to acknowledge what percentage of that they're responsible for allowing. Now, having unfortunate things happen to you, falling victim to an unfortunate set of circumstances, and accepting things that you don't like when you're faced with it, two different things. If you see poison ivy and you recognize it as poison ivy, and you know what poison ivy does, and you still touch it, how then can you turn around and be mad and complain about the fact that poison ivy has just done to you what poison ivy does? It's poison. It's not supposed to be a good end result. So why do you continue to touch poisonous people and be surprised when the results do not warrant what you wanted? Most people would rather be comfortable than satisfied. And unfortunately, toxicity is what makes a lot of people comfortable. They don't know a peaceful environment. They only know chaos. They don't know how to exist in a peaceful environment. They only know how to exist in chaotic environments. So when their environment isn't chaotic, they make it chaotic. They push away all of those types of people that they say they want. If I could just find a person like this, everything would be better. But the thing is, a person that brings you peace, that's not familiar enough to you. You don't know how to respond to a person who actually brings you peace, even though ideally you know being able to exist in a peaceful place would be amazing for you. It would take away a lot of stress, a whole lot of other things that you would just appreciate if it just wasn't happening. But there has to be a certain level of toxicity in the people that you deal with in order for you to be comfortable and be familiar with where you are. So you continue to go after these people that you swear up and down you don't want to deal with, but you do. Because you need toxic. There's people out here that hate the color green because they touched poison ivy knowing what it was. Now it's the poison ivy's fault somehow. They knew exactly what it was and they touched it anyway. Not only did they touch it, they continued to go outside and touch it every single day for years. Could you imagine hating an entire gender because of the people that you keep choosing? And a huge percentage of the reason why you keep choosing the people that you're choosing is because they remind you of the last person that you chose that was toxic as a mug. They just got one less toxic trait than the last person did. All you really know how to do, unfortunately, is pick the best of the worst. And to you, that's a win. But is it a win when they end up destroying your mind and your heart a little bit more, stockpiling on top of the damage that the last person did? Don't sound too ideal to me. It's hard for me to imagine blaming every single woman on the planet knowing that I've probably, doubtfully, met 1% of the women on this entire planet. What I look like hating and blaming the other 99% of women that I've never even exchanged verbiage with for the women that I continue to choose. How much sense does that make? If you want a more peaceful life, a life that is more conducive to your happiness, your peace of mind, your contentment, I would advise you start learning what it takes to be more, to being more open, more inviting, more welcoming to what you say you want. Because it doesn't make sense to continue to complain about what you're not getting when you're looking for everything other than what you say you want. You are so inviting, so welcoming. You are so enticed to everything that you say you can't stand. And you keep telling yourself you can't stand it, but yet you keep opening the door for it and wondering why this environment is so chaotic. It's so chaotic because you need it to be. You know how to respond to toxic. You know how to talk to toxic. You know how to be around toxic. You know how to argue with toxic. For some reason, you know how to reason with toxic, even though there is no level of reason when it comes to toxic, because it always still leaves you empty. But in your mind, I'm reasoning with toxic and this is working and it's going to get better. It's going to get better based on what? The fact that this person is showing you the exact same thing they've been showing you from the day they came into your life to right now in this moment. That's your idea of something that's going to get better. You got to figure out what it is that makes you continue to go back to toxic over and over and over and over again. I mean, I just laid it out, but still, there's more to it. For you specifically, there's more to it than that, and you need to start digging. Unless you cool with continuing to live your life this way, in which case, it's your prerogative. I can't tell you how to live, but if you're gonna keep complaining about it, you should probably start taking action. I ain't say it was easy, but if you're gonna keep complaining about it, then it's necessary. But who am I? I'm just a dude with a camera.